Hi there, welcome to the Digital JST Show, your go to podcast for digital marketing insights that drive business growth and career success. I am JST Anandan, your host, and this podcast is brought to you by Digital JST. That's my digital marketing consultancy helping businesses worldwide. You can check it out at digitaljst.com. Whether you are a B2B business looking to expand your online presence or a professional in a full time job or freelancing, this podcast is designed to help you learn from top marketing experts and make smarter, more strategic decisions. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for updates. If you are listening on any podcast app, follow the Digital JSD show, and if you like the show, leave a rating. Alright, let's jump right in.
We have with us Amos, the founder of a digital marketing agency based in Singapore that helps SMEs grow through SEO, social media, and paid ads. In this episode, we'll dive into how Amos structures his agency, manages a global team, and uses hands-on outreach methods like personalized cold emails, Google Ads, and relationship-driven networking to consistently bring in new clients. So if you are a business owner, agency founder, or consultant looking to learn how to attract quality clients and grow sustainably, this conversation is going to be full of practical insights. Amos, welcome to the podcast. Glad to have you here.
Hey, Jace. Yes, thanks for having me for this podcast.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's get started. You have mentioned that you charge higher so you can serve clients better. So how did you come to that realization and how do you communicate that value to clients?
I think it's everybody as an agency or as a freelancer, everybody started off with zero portfolio, right? I mean, everybody have the skill sets to add value to the world and to different companies, but when it comes to choosing you or another party, it all boils down to, in Singapore market, who's cheaper. So at the start, it was a price war. Afterwards, when we got some few clients 5 years ago, we got a handful of clients, and then we realized that no matter how much you priced your services, people would want more, right? Even if you go as low as $500, $600, people will always want more. And then you're stuck because that value that you agreed on only allows you to do so much. You can definitely do more, but when you do more, you're stuck because it becomes a losing business, right? So I learned along the way that no matter what price point you charge, someone would want it. Someone would think it's valuable. Someone would think it's affordable. It's just a matter of how you position yourself, whether you're valuable for that specific price point that you put or not. This tagline that I live by is price is always an issue when value is absent. Right. So I realized that along the way, about maybe after the first year of me being an agency owner, that I can always find better clients and value will not be an issue if price will not be an issue if value is present, right? A Ferrari costs millions, right? But no one complains that it's expensive. I always I'll blame myself for having no money to buy it. But I will not say that, hey, why is a Ferrari so expensive? So yes, I've cultivated that thought after, I would say, dealing with many clients and dropping my prices just so I can get more for portfolio. Then I realized that, no matter how much I drop, it will never be cheap. It will never be cheap. So instead of dropping, I have changed my model to increasing and finding customers and clients that see value in my services. Yeah.
So have you lost any prospects because you charge premium?
Yes, definitely. It's not a matter of, I always tell my team and myself, it's not a matter of having more clients under your belt, right? It's about having good ones that pay you well. To earn 10,000, you can have, let's say, if you charge 500, right? You need 20 clients to earn 10,000 in terms of revenue. Am I correct in terms of the math? Yeah, 500 times 20, correct. Or I can just have 5 clients who pay me 2,000 each. So managing 5 clients, I can pour more work into it. I can get my team to go the extra mile. And sometimes clients require more because in marketing, you can't have a structure or framework and expect results because every client has different requirements and are in different stages, right? So every client will have different needs and ask for different things. And the additional budget allows us to go the extra mile and deliver better results. So I would say yes, we probably drop a few clients along the way,
And I'm
but
assuming that you
we
are
earn
able to,
more and we are
yeah,
sustainable.
yeah, that's great strategy. But I'm assuming that you are able to convey your value to the prospects as well, because of which you are able to close the deals with them, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So you work with clients across three stages: early startups, growing businesses, and scaling companies. So how do you tailor your services accordingly?
So this is a second part of like value, right? Where the first question was, how to find, how to match your value to different people. So along the way, we realized that we categorize these businesses in general in three different stages: level zero, level one, and level two, or stage zero, stage one, and stage two. Stage zero is where there are early startups below 1 year. These people have very, very tight budget. Of course, there are few who have started their own businesses and are creating new ones, still at level zero, but with higher budget. So with these people, right, we often tell them straight up, say, hey, if your budget is this low, we can't do that much, but we focus on one. We manage expectations from the early stages of conversation, right? We let them know that if you only have X amount of budget, you can't expect to get that kind of standard anywhere. Even if you hire your own team, they can only produce that much in terms of efforts and results and outputs. And then there's stage one, right? Those who are in the business for more than a year to three, these people have passed the growing stages of figuring out who they are, what they want, and are trying to get revenue. Revenue is key. Whatever it gets, revenue, whatever it is, the main goal is revenue, right? For these people, it's easier because they have a specific budget in mind. They can spend, and they only got one goal, which is revenue. So we have a revenue model catered for these stage ones. And then the last stage, stage two, these are people who are scaling, who are no longer just looking at revenue. They're looking at opening new markets. They're looking at getting more market share, right? So there's a different ballgame from these people. And our strategies for marketing tailored according to these different stages. I will never give stage zero a stage two strategy because for one, they don't have the budget. For two, it's too early on for them. It doesn't work for them. And also, I won't give a stage two a stage one strategy because they're looking at scaling. Sometimes when you're scaling, revenue is not important. Revenue is not the KPI to measure. For example, if you are in that market for 5 years, right, and you want to increase market share, sometimes market share comes in a lot of other measurables like brand awareness. Do people know you well enough? I mean, a lot of consumable industry, I call it like cleaning services, aircon repair. All these are B2C services that if you want revenue, it's a whole different approach, like just running ads, SEO and stuff like that. You can get your fair share of revenue. But if you want to scale and be like a top three in Singapore market or worldwide, it's more than just running ads and, making sure your website gets searched, appears in first page of Google. It boils down to a lot of other factors. That's why we tailor our strategies and our services to these different groups of companies or stages of companies.
Okay, so I understand about stage one and stage two because they're already doing well. That's why they have been for so many years. But when it comes to stage zero, they are less than 1 year and they don't have a marketing budget as well. So whatever product or services they have, they don't have a marketing budget. So how do you approach these clients? Do you get such clients, and why do you want to do marketing for them? Because they don't have a budget at the first place. So why do you have that as a prospect for you?
I think it's more of like my enjoyment in serving these people. So as a startup founder, right, I used to be a startup founder, right? Wherever we are at, we used to be like bootstrapping and starting ourselves. So I know where the pinpoints are at. I know their goals and dreams. Sometimes it's sometimes it's not about budget only. It's about the direction. So for stage zero, right? Stage zero, we usually go more of consultation and advisory. I become more of their fractional CMO, right? Sometimes the services, for example, could be just having me as a consultant inside, nothing else. Me telling them what to do, what's their business model, how they should get their first customer, what they should focus on for marketing, and then me telling them what they should do on their own. So sometimes it becomes that kind of service where they get me to guide them on how to go to the next steps so that they can get to stage one. Right?
Okay.
It might not be like a service, like oh, social media service and all and stuff like that. Because I have like people coming to me, for example, just last week, this guy created. I'm gonna be generic about this because it's his idea. It's not in the market yet. Basically, it's a platform, right? But it's not 100% up yet. The app is not even up yet. And it was referred to me by my existing client, like, hey, I got a friend who needs marketing. He wants marketing. Can you help him? So after hearing his story, I realized that he has nothing for the world just yet. If he invested in marketing, there's not much results. All the leads will probably drop off because there was no call to action. There was nothing to visit. There was no destination, right? So then we worked together. I basically became his fractional CMO. That means I'm just like a CMO in his company. I outsourced one, of course. I have no shareholdership in the firm. So I guided him what to do, what are the steps you need before we even talk about marketing.
Mm, that's a good strategy. Okay. So, what's the biggest marketing myth you see among SMEs in Singapore?
I would say the biggest one in my mind is marketing can be outsourced 100%.
Mm,
So
100%.
I
Okay.
believe this. I believe that no marketing can be outsourced 100%. Because imagine this, right? So I used to be a consumer of marketing agencies before I started my own. I was like, hey, I'm going to pay a sum of money. You handle everything, right?
Mm,
That collaboration did not really came out with any good results. And I learned from that hey, no matter how much you pay, no one can market you unless they know you 100%. Like, unless they are you. And that
mm,
is largely impossible. No one can be you, especially if you have a new brand, new idea. If you're a startup founder, your model is new, no one understands it. No one can market you because you have your own values, you have your own story, you have your reasons why this product or service is so good. If you outsource to a marketing vendor, they have a framework to work with. And
mm,
if you don't feed them enough information and give them the time for the interviews to collect the required info they need, it will largely go wrong because
mm,
they were based off existing market trends, existing market ideas, existing market things that work and execute your
mm,
marketing. And even if you're an existing service that has already sort of like, let's say it's a marketing agency looking for marketing. Let's say I don't know how to do my own marketing. I hire a marketing agency to do my own marketing. They might market it in their own way as their own
mm,
marketing agency, which might not
mm,
be what I want, right?
mm,
So I think the biggest myth in an SME is that you pay X amount, hands free, hands off. You handle everything
mm,
for me, right? And I've worked that style before, and I would say the success rate is it's high because of how familiar those industries are. But
mm,
if you want to stand out, which a lot of founders and owners, they want their services to be brand differently. That's one point. Second point is a lot of companies have different margins in their services. Some services would give them more results if you just basically do that more versus others. And those information I wouldn't have, like how their P&L is, how their margins for each services or product are, right? What are the target audiences? Those are the information we have, but P&L, margins, this kind is these informations are usually what I ask from them, just so I can tailor a strategy that helps them scale and get revenue. So if any SME hearing this wants to outsource their marketing 100%, I would say it might work, but it's definitely not gonna work to the fullest potential.
Okay, so basically, marketing cannot be outsourced 100%. You should have some in-house team members also who are actually working for your brand and knows in and out of the brand so that they can bring out better results. Okay, and also I think that if they outsource to other agencies or marketeers, they are already working with multiple accounts, so they are not going to focus completely or be accountable to your one company, right? So that's also there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you are right. That's why we charge more to so that we come into your business
yeah, you
and
take the
find the
ownership.
loopholes that you miss. Yeah,
Yes, correct. So only selected agencies which are outsourced or marketers will take that ownership of understanding your brand at a core level and bring out the better results, which usually your in-house team would do, and which is quite difficult to find,
correct.
honestly.
And
Right.
expensive.
Yes, correct. So you run Google Ads, send personalized cold emails, and even do follow-up calls. That's very hands-on approach. So can you walk us through your full lead generation process?
So lead generation as a okay, I started this agency. I think this point that you mentioned, I have to go from the top. So I started this business because one is out of passion, definitely, that I love to solve difficult problems. And revenue is a difficult problem for all businesses, right?
Yeah.
If everybody has revenue, then the world will be so easier to for any owner. So one is passion, second is it's a recurring service, right? Everybody needs marketing. Everybody. It's just how much they believe in it and whether they have a structure and have a framework for that. So just now you mentioned I run Google Ads, send personalized call emails and even follow-up calls. So me and my team, we do lead gen very, I wouldn't say any differently. It's like most people do. But okay, for Google Ads part, it's very simple. I would say I don't need to speak so much more about Google Ads because it's just running ads and getting inquiries, emails and follow-up calls. So we like to hunt good customers. We like to figure out, hey, this customer looks like one, will pay us well, two, understands marketing, and three, seems to be able to work with us to achieve something else, like a goal they have in mind. Why we send a lot of cold personalized emails and follow-up calls is we hunt people who already understand marketing. So there are two groups of people, right? One who doesn't know marketing and or doesn't do marketing. When they don't do marketing, I sort of categorize them as someone who doesn't value marketing and doesn't know what marketing can do for them. Second group is people who have already done marketing and we can easily find them. Like if their website is on like page one or page two, or they're running ads, these people are already doing marketing. Okay, so the thing about selling to the first group of people who hasn't done marketing before is I have to sell the concept of marketing. Okay, after that is done, I have to sell me. Why me and why not someone else? So it's a two-step, right? Versus going to the latter group where they have already done marketing, I just have to sell me. I don't have to sell why you have to do marketing. Or why you have to, do SEO, why do Google Ads, how can help you. I skip that process entirely because they're already doing it.
Hmm.
My approach is I go in and say, hey, I see you've been doing this. I believe I can do better. Can we arrange a call and let me just run through with you, what my findings are and how I can assist you. And here's my portfolio and my clients I work with. So that makes the selling part easier because these people who are doing it, they have a benchmark. Like, hey, I have been doing this for 1 year. This is the result I got. Some guy just reached out to me and say, hey, they can do better. Okay, you tell me, let me hear from you how I can do better. It's a free call anyway, right? Just hearing out. So I find that the response rate for the second group of people seems to be higher. And it helps us find, again, customers who are willing to pay, customers who are willing to work with us, right? So that is the lead generation process that we have. The Google Ads run on its own, collects, whoever wins marketing. And then the more hands-on approach, we basically hunt. We hunt for stage one and stage two. We don't hunt for stage zero. We hunt for the people who has already dabbled in marketing and we come in and we prove to them why we can do better.
For the second set of audience, the prospects, since they're already doing marketing and you feel that there can be more improvements done, and that's why you are reaching out to them. But they might be having agency, they might be working with some people already because of which you can see that some marketing has been done. So how are you able to convince them? Because they also have to think, right? They might be working on a retainer basis with their agencies who they might have outsourced. So they have to close their deals with their existing agency and then come to you. So there is a friction out there. So how do you convince them to leave their existing marketers and work with you?
So I have lost clients because they want to work with other agencies. So I come from that point of view. So how it works is that it's planting seeds, right? They don't have to work with me today, but constantly I'm there. Every 2, 3 months. Let's say, yeah, you're right. I've encountered some before where they just renewed their one
Yeah.
year contract with an agency. Fine. If you just renew 1 year and you told me that I will wait 1 year for you, I'll mark it in my file. And I say, hey, this guy just renewed 1 year. Let's follow up every 3 months, not selling them, but just reaching out. I say, I found this thing that might be helpful. Pum, pum, pum.
Mm.
I dare to say most agencies in Singapore don't care much about customer service unless they're small, where they have just 1 or 2 clients. Then it's easier
Mm.
to have customer service because when you see money, you constantly chase for money. When you got 1 client, 2 client, 3 client, you focus on the fourth, fifth, sixth, seven. You're constantly growing, and that's how big agencies work. They have so many clients, they don't really care about that drop-off rate. Definitely
Mm.
internally they care about the churn rate, but they definitely will lose some clients every now and then, right? And then I'm there just waiting for them to drop. So
Okay.
so it's not a matter of I reach out today, I want something today. It's a matter of
Mm.
reach out today, at least I get a connection.
Mm.
Maximum is 12 months. Maximum is 12 months. If you renew
Okay.
today, okay, 12 months. Who knows? It could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I trigger that thought. People get complacent when I sign a deal, right? I used to be definitely we would drop clients because we got complacent. I sign, that their clients, we don't manage them as well as other people could, just like dating. So yeah, we are like a third party in a relationship. So basically, we nurture them first. 12 months is the longest I have to wait.
Okay. So basically, you're nurturing the prospects without trying to close them sooner. And eventually, when they feel that the existing market, their agency doesn't work well for them, doesn't provide them the results, then you are the in the top of mind of them so that
Yeah.
they can come and work with you. You have built a hybrid team with local Singaporeans and overseas freelancers. So how do you manage performance and maintain quality across different time zones and pay scales?
Okay, so Singaporeans are very expensive. As much as I want to hire them, but it's very expensive. In marketing, I would say that most people, except a few big companies, they all outsource their work, right? As a business owner, it only makes sense because to hire 1 Singaporean, you can hire 3 to 4 wherever you are looking at, right? Our neighboring countries. But local Singaporeans have an important role in playing. We definitely have to hire them still because of brand. Like if they come to me and say, hey, I'm the only person in Singapore, that they lose trust because
Mm.
so many people get screwed over by outsourced talents, right?
Mm.
Because they're so cheap. They're so cheap. So people just spend. And then of course when you get what you pay. So I build a team where I focus on higher roles and I hire Singaporeans for higher roles like managers. And for the operational staff, I hire overseas. Performance wise, it's fun because you don't see them right there.
Mm.
How we manage performance is we have a manager that speaks to these people on a daily basis, like a stand up, just to make sure that things are done. I think before even goes there is the hiring process, who you hire,
Mm.
because it's not about hiring cheap. It's about hiring good and cheap. I don't
Mm.
mind hiring a bit more expensive, but I guarantee this person has the qualities of a good employee. So performance wise, it goes down to hiring the interview. Actually, once that is done, once you hire a great person, the performance actually just we don't really manage much. We don't micromanage. They ultimately value us because sometimes it's hard to find a job in India in those areas. They value us, and we just need to show them that hey, being with us, there's growth. There are ways to earn more, and performance comes automatically. Time zones wise, we don't really hire people that are in the US or Russia, where are significantly different time zones. It's all in Asia. So time zones wise, we don't have an issue with that.
So you manage like hiring manager level people in locals so that you are able to give the salary and you also get a good value out of them and you hire overseas people for operational stuff, which is Superb.
I won't say outsource, but offshore hiring, so that it makes sense for me as a business owner. I would
Mm.
love to hire a full Singapore team, but of course the economy
It's
doesn't allow.
expensive. You prefer performance-based incentives over high base salaries. So why do you believe this model attracts more serious talent?
If you pay high base salaries, it's attractive at the start, but along the way, they will always get complacent and comfortable, and there's always a higher salary out there. Salaries, it's like there's no one who can pay the higher salary, because once you get the higher salary, someone will have a higher salary once you leave the job. So people often job hop, right? If you perform 60% today, you get that amount. If you perform 40% today, you get that amount. If you perform 100% today, you get that amount. So as a smart employee, why do I need to perform 100%? I mean, if I'm underperforming, I'll get that amount. If I know how to talk my way out of it, I'll get that amount, right? Why do I need to perform my best if I'm going to get that amount eventually, right? So knowing this, we structure our pay, can say payroll. I would say our pay structure in a way where if you work 80% or 70%, you get that. If you work 40%, you get lower. If you work 100 to 120%, you should be well paid. You should be deserving of a higher salary, right? So that pushes people to actually work harder and work more. If they don't, I have a reason to not pay like X amount. If they do, I feel like I jolly well should reward them their efforts, because they help the company. Might not be revenue, but could be customer retention, customer satisfaction, which ultimately is growing the company to a better place. So I will always prefer performance-based incentives over high-base salaries because of that.
Okay. So for someone starting out, what's a realistic outreach goal per week to get consistent clients?
For someone starting out, you just ask, email, ask whatever. Don't depend on ads, because you probably won't have budget for it, right? It's just the first sale I got was 1 year later, 12 months later, after I started my own, right? That was the first sale I got. First official one, I would say that I really, not from referral, not from, it's really constantly asking people, and the opportunities are everywhere. How many businesses are there in Singapore? Hundreds of thousands, right? And even a home-based owner is a business owner. Even a real estate agent is a business owner, right? I don't just structure SMEs as a business owner. Most people next to you and me have a business idea in their mind, right? They might even have executed that business idea at a very small scale. When you're starting out, you need a portfolio. You, as much as people in social media have said, "Oh, you are worth this much, don't drop a price." You know, like what I said at the start, you're worth this much, don't drop a price. But sometimes at the early stages, you don't have a choice. No one will trust you until you have the results there. Right? Whatever I mentioned at the start was like after a while, right? So if you have zero today, you have zero portfolio today, start looking at context. Who over there is a business owner that you can reach out to? I mean, if you can do lead gen, can you do it for real estate agents? I mean, real estate agent loves lead gen, they need lead gen. Can you do it for a discounted price for them? Financial agents can't do it for them. It's a bit more complicated, but look around your own warm circle first. Next thing is networking. Go out and meet new people. You never know who you'll meet. Every day that you spend on your own is one day wasted meeting someone new. And that someone new could have brought you or referred you somebody else. Okay? And the last one is just knocking doors, sending emails, finding social media, reaching out to the DMs, and just like reaching out to people. So if you do all these three, I don't believe you won't have a single lead in 1 month. I didn't do all these three at the start. I had my own doubts, and I also feared. So it was like, that's the first 2 months was like, okay, I'm gonna try and reach out I'm gonna send out some cold emails. I sent 5 today. It feels like a job well done. But 5, you're not gonna get the second reply. You send 1,000, 2 to 3% will reply. If you send to 1,000. So you send to 5, 2 to 3 is less than 1%. So it will take ages before someone even reply you. So I would say you do those 3 things, in the first month, you definitely have leads coming into your pocket.
Thank you so much, Amos, for joining us today and sharing your story from how you started your agency to the systems and strategies that drive your success. It's been a really valuable conversation. Before we wrap up, could you share where people can connect with you or learn more about your work?
So how can they connect with me? My company, it's Elevate Digital. We have been around for 5 years. I've been marketing for 8 years. So we do social media, we do SEO, we do Google ads, of course, also advisory and consultation work. You can Google my website, or you can follow me on Instagram as well, at Amos Tan, EL.
Thanks for sharing. I'll drop the links in the description below.